This is the modifiers screen. Modifiers should be considered an advanced topic, but they enable deep and powerful dialogue. Modifiers start with a name, then they get an action, a value or a using value, and then some training data. But let's dive into this just a little bit more. They are called modifiers because they modify slots on actions. For example, the case that you're seeing here is that I have an action for ordering pizza, and on that action I've created a slot for toppings. These modifiers that I've defined here will add toppings to that slot, set the toppings, and remove the toppings. These add, set, and remove are part of the actions that the modifier takes. In this case, it can set, unset, add, and remove. Keep in mind that it's doing these actions on a slot. It's going to set a slot value. And what's it going to set that value to? You have two options. It can set that value to a keyword, or it can set it to a static value. In this case, since I'm adding toppings and the toppings are highlighted in the saying that the user makes, this is a keyword value. So let's read this a different way. This modifier adds this keyword value to the slot that it's modifying. To help you better understand modifiers, let's chat with this agent and see how they're used. The first thing we need to do is ask the agent for a pizza. Now that the agent is waiting for a response, we're going to use the setToppings modifier to request pizza. The agent recognized that I wanted to set the topping slot to ham and pineapple, but maybe I forgot that I really wanted some bacon. So in this case, the agent used or recognized the add toppings modifier to add bacon, and it now has a pizza with ham, pineapple, and bacon. But maybe I really didn't want the pineapple. Let's remove it. That's a pizza with just ham and bacon. Does that sound good? So here you've seen how we set some toppings, we added a topping, and we removed it, all using modifiers. But there's another really powerful use case for modifiers, and that's handling yes or no responses. We do this with a pretty common keyword for confirmation. It has just two simple values for yes and no, and two modifiers, one for affirmation and one for negation. But in this case, rather than using a keyword value, we're going to set the slot value that we're modifying to a static value. So if the user is affirming something, we're going to set the slot to yes. And if the user is negating something, we're going to set it to no. So to demonstrate that, we've left our agent in a state where it's asking if this sounds good, and it's asking for a confirmation to proceed. So if this does sound good, I could say sure. In this case, I'm going to say that it doesn't sound good. I'm going to say that's not what I wanted. And the agent recognized that we didn't want what it was offering and said, don't worry, we haven't started cooking yet. So that's a quick introduction to modifiers. And again, to break it down, modifiers modify slots, that's what they're called. This is the action it's going to take and the value it's going to use. So you read this as set the slot that I'm modifying to a static value of yes whenever the affirmation modifier is recognized.